Hello everyone, my name's Annabelle and I'm a Senior Recruitment Consultant here at Beaumont People. Today I'm joined by the lovely Lauren, who is a Principal Consultant.
Welcome to Ask Me Anything, which is a 10-minute power session where we discuss current issues or topics relevant to today's recruitment landscape. So what is our topic today, Belle?
So today's topic is party wear or workwear. So we'll be discussing all things workwear, the do's and don'ts of what to wear in the workplace, and defining workwear dress codes. So there are many different interpretations of dress codes, and we are here today to help you interpret and define these codes. Of course, depending on location and also the industry that you work in and also the demographic of the office, this may change, but here is a general idea and overview.
Great, so I'm going to start with our first discussion point, which is the do's and don'ts. So let's start with the do's first. So ensure that your clothes are clean, no stains, and ironed if necessary. Ensure your hair is clean, neat, and tidy. And ensure that you are aware of the dress code for the organisation that you are working for. So most companies will have a dress code policy. So when you do start with an organisation, just be sure to have a bit of a read over that policy. Mirroring other employees is also a good idea when you're starting in a new role. So for example, if it is your first Friday and they happen to have casual Friday, wear something a little bit more formal just to ensure that you're not underdressing. It's always a great tip to dress smarter than you think for the first week until you have had time to read the room, and then you can mirror the other employees. Now, a lot of us are working virtually at the moment, and it's really important to follow the same guidelines and the dress code policy, whether you're working in the office or from your home office. So when working virtually, I think you would agree, Belle, that it is very easy just to roll out of bed sometimes and jump onto your computer still wearing your PJs. There are many reasons that this is not a great idea. For example, your manager may call you via Teams without any notice. Can be quite embarrassing. But more importantly, by dressing professionally each day, it puts you in the right mindset for work. So I definitely feel more ready to tackle my day if I have taken the time to dress for work and applied a bit of makeup.
Yeah, definitely that routine, I think, for me. I've done it before where I've not gotten properly dressed and it's just ended in disaster. So always opt to get ready. So the do not. So we've popped in smoking. So it is a bit of a controversial topic, but I think wherever is possible, try to avoid smoking before or during work. The scent lingers, it obviously stays on your clothes, and I just think from a professional standpoint, I think it is best just to ensure you do that outside of work hours once you get home. So just avoid that wherever possible. Going sleeveless or strapless is also a big no-no. So for the women, showing complete décolletage is a no. So always ensure that you do have proper sleeves, and Lauren will also go into sort of the formal dress codes and go into that in a little bit more detail. Overdoing jewelry as well, so just ensuring that it's clean and it's simple. Thongs, wearing flip-flops, wearing Ugg boots, and going bare feet. We did have a discussion about this because we do have an office in Byron Bay, so ensuring that your workwear is appropriate, your footwear is appropriate at all times. Lauren did mention as well, but obviously no pajamas or track pants also. And the same goes if you are working virtually. So ensuring that you are dressed from head to toe, in case the doorbell rings or you have an emergency and you've got to get up and step away from your desk, just ensuring that head to toe is completely appropriate.
Very good points, Belle. Okay, so I'm going to move into our second discussion point, which is defining the dress code. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here talking through each of the different dress codes because I know that sometimes this can get a little bit confusing. And as Belle mentioned at the beginning, this can sometimes depend on things like location. For example, we have a Sydney office and a Byron Bay office, so sometimes they can be a little bit different when it comes to the dress codes, but most of the time they're pretty on point. So I'm going to touch on formal business attire, smart business, smart casual, and then just plain casual. So we'll start with formal business attire, which I think is pretty straightforward. For males, this would be a full suit. So that being your suit pants, collared shirt, a jacket and leather shoes. Tie, I would say, optional in this day and age, but a tie is always nice, particularly if you're going for, if you're working in C-suite. For females, I would say a pant or suit, or maybe a dress with a blazer similar to this, and then closed-in shoes ideally, whether that be flats or heels. So moving on to smart business, this is a bit less formal than formal business. For example, you could probably lose the tie or the blazer, but we would still suggest that men wear tailored pants, a collared shirt, and for women, a knee-length skirt or pants with a corporate top, whether that have a collar or, a nice high neck. Also, you could wear just a more of a corporate dress with sleeves as well. Again, flats or heels, depending on your preference there. Moving on to smart casual. So this, when we're looking at smart casual, you need to be thinking neat, conventional and relatively informal in style. So for men, that might look like long pants or tailored shorts. They don't need to be suit pants. For example, you could get away with chinos, and the collar on your shirt would be optional. So a nice t-shirt could be fine under this dress code. Just be aware of obviously any logos or big print if you are going to be wearing t-shirts in the office. For women under smart casual, a less corporate dress or casual pants and top still with a sleeve, flats or heels. So it's more relaxed and less fitted style, but still presents a polished appearance. Going on to casual. So for males, a neat t-shirt or jumper. Denim jeans are usually appropriate under this casual dress code. We would say avoid ripped jeans, save those for the weekend or for home. And shoes, you could get away with clean sneakers or loafers for males. For females, a neat t-shirt or jumper, denim jeans, knee-length skirt or relaxed dress, and then for shoes, your clean sneakers or sandals, but we would say steer clear of active wear for casual.
Absolutely. Great, thank you. And to our third topic, which is defining casual Fridays. So first off, if you are lucky enough to have casual Fridays, amazing. But I think it's really important that we don't abuse that privilege. So going on from what Lauren said in regards to the sort of casual code, I think it's really important to ensure that you are always dressed appropriately and comfortably. If you need to step into any last minute meetings, if you have to suddenly meet with clients, if you have to have a meeting with your manager or anything like that, I think it's really important to dress and ensure that you are able and that you are appropriate to step into those meetings. I think also the same goes if you are working virtually as well. So just ensuring that you aren't in your active wear, that you aren't in your casual Friday pajamas or whatever it may be, but just ensuring that you are still dressed smartly and still appropriately, regardless of that flexibility on the Friday. We also wanted to mention as well for interviews. So if you are going through an agency like Beaumont People, don't be afraid to ask your consultant what the dress code is, what the company policy is, how you should dress for that interview, just to ensure that you are obviously dressing appropriately and presenting yourself well. If you are going through an agency, I would also suggest reaching out to your main contact, asking what they feel should be appropriate, just to ensure that you are starting on the right foot, especially for an interview. Lauren, was there anything else that we needed to go over or covers it?
I think we've covered everything there. But yes, certainly feel free to reach out to anybody at Beaumont People or jump onto our website. We're all on LinkedIn, so you can reach out there if you've got any specific questions.
Beautiful. Thank you.